Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. We were talking about the substance during that break to our Facebook friends. But however, 2 minutes was not long enough. I am still ranting about that, and we're going to rant about it right after this, because each week the Film Powers That Be release dozens of movies in theaters on VOD and on streaming services, some of which you will never hear about except here. Each week's upcoming releases are carefully picked over from various websites, and up to 5 films are randomly selected from genres I would watch, which are action-adventure, horror, science fiction, animated, or fantasy, and that is pretty much it. With that in mind, we sit through some of the most hideous trailers ever made, and we'll read you the synopsis of each film, then give you our not-so-humble opinions. We only go off of what you have available to make your movie-watching decisions, which is the synopsis and the trailer. So please bear in mind, we are not professional movie critics. We're just overly opinionated blowhards. But here at Pop Culture Kaboom, we do utilize a carefully crafted and patented movie rating system, which goes as follows. If it is worth seeing in a theater at full price, it is a good, not a great. That is to be determined by you if you choose to see it in the theater. If it is worth seeing in a theater as a matinee or in your town's cheap theater, it is a so-so. If it should be seen as on a streaming service or as a rental or however you choose to watch a film while avoiding social interaction, it is a blah. And if it is deemed so awful you should wait for it to be on public television, it is considered a touch brown. And here are the movies that are coming out January 26th through February 1st. We, of course, encourage everybody to go see movies in the theater the way they were meant to be. But here are the ones that are coming out, and I'm going to throw a dart at the proverbial dartboard here. I am literally scrolling up and down, by the way. Oh, let's get this cinematic masterpiece out of the way. Tafiti Across the Desert. When his grandpa is bitten by a snake, Tafiti, a young meerkat, sets off on an adventure to find the magical flower that will cure him. Brussels, a bush pig, wants to prove that adventures are always better with friends and joins him across the desert. Okay, welcome to Lion King 3 Hakuna Matata. If you ordered it from Temu and it was shipped in a damp cardboard box. I haven't seen a rip-off this blatant since the time I saw a gold Rolex watch for $5 at a flea market. Beyond the identity theft, we need to talk about the biology, because the rioters clearly didn't. This movie wants us to follow a week-long odyssey to save a meerkat from a poisonous snake bite. Here in the reality, poisonous snakes pack enough punch to drop a grown human in 2 days. The 10-ounce meerkat is checking out of his mortal coil in about 45 minutes tops. Our protagonists are embarking on a grueling 7-day hike to save a corpse. And the cure, at the end of the rainbow, blue flowers. Because apparently in this cinematic universe, MacGuffin plants are medical-grade anti-venom. Touch brown. What say you?
Wow. Okay. Did you actually see The Lion King?
No.
Okay.
Oh, The Lion King, yes.
Okay, because this is nothing like The Lion King. Okay?
Lion King 3.
No, not even. Like,
isn't it just the adventures of that meerkat and that pig?
Yeah, Timon and Simba. Yeah.
See, wasn't that movie about them?
That was a movie about them.
Okay,
this
then
is not that. This is not even the same movie about them. Okay, that was about their friendship altogether. This is about them trying to save, this poor meerkat's dad. I thought it was actually kind of cute if you had like kids. Would I watch it? No, because I don't have kids. But I think if you
do have kids.
Yeah, not this age though.
Oh, that's true.
I think, though, that, out of all the movies that we've seen, actually cartoons that are intended for the kid audience that parents are subjected to watch, I think out of the ones we've seen so far this year, this is the least of the one. Like, if you had a pick, I'd watch this one.
Oh, okay.
It's still a touch brown, but,
it's a tolerable touch brown.
It's a tolerable touch brown.
Okay. Fair enough. What is next?
Okay, let's do Shelter.
Okay.
On a remote coastal island, a reclusive man, Jason Statham, rescues a young girl, Bodhi Ray Bretnach, from a deadly storm, drawing them both into danger.
Is that what happened?
Forced out of isolation, he must confront his turbulent past while protecting her, sending them on a tense journey of survival and redemption. I think the storm is secondary. At first,
There's
it sounds.
Storm?
Well, it sounds. Yeah, in the trailer, like the storm is very brief when it comes on, and that's why the girl's like, "Can I come in?" And he's like, "No." Like,
No.
Yeah. So I don't. It was kind of weird because like normally the Jason Statham character always takes care of the girl. Like, you know. I thought it was actually quite rude when she went up and she asked him a question. You know, hey, and he's like, "Don't ever come up here again." I was like, "Dang." But it's a Jason Statham movie. So you expect mindless action with no real plot. And that's why you go and watch Jason Statham. So, yeah, his movies, are they the best movies? No. Are they entertaining? Heck yeah. Does this look to be right along the same lines? Oh, you betcha.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that this is a so-so. I would see this in the theaters as a Jason Statham movie. Knowing that it's a Jason Statham movie, you know,
Because it's Jason Statham.
yeah. There's not going to be. Is it going to be a whole like Brainiac plot? No, it's going to be simple, and there's going to be things that are like, oh, come on, you know. But that's why you watch it.
Okay. Jason Statham is back and truly stretching his range here. I almost said that with a straight face. At this point, you could take Statham's entire filmography, shuffle the scenes, and title them all British Man Punches People, Volume 1 through a 47,
right?
And nobody would notice. From the Transporter to now, he's essentially been playing the same character in a different colored suit, with the notable exception of Snatch, back when he actually had to speak more than 3 words a minute. In this latest masterpiece, Statham is attempting the Bourne identity, but without any of the pesky identity or plot parts. He's being hunted by a shadowy government agency for reasons that remain a state secret even to the screenwriters. He was completely off the grid, minding his own business, and the baddies decided to kick the hornet's nest for no discernible reason other than the fact that the movie needed a second act. Honestly, I don't even want to know the backstory. The mystery is probably more interesting than the inevitable "he knew too much about a flash drive" revelation. I'm giving it a touch brown. Yep. All right, so up next, Back to the Past.
Okay.
After losing everything from a crime he didn't commit, Ken vows to travel back to the Quinn dynasty and reclaim everything he lost by usurping the throne. Eric said, "Love the review." All right, back to the past. I've seen some marketing disconnects in my time, but this trailer and its synopsis are living in 2 entirely different dimensions. Reading the summary and then watching the footage is like reading the menu for a 5-star steakhouse and then being served a single confused taco. The synopsis is screaming about time travel, yet the trailer refuses to acknowledge that linear time even exists. Who traveled? When did they go? Did they use a DeLorean or just a very fast treadmill? The trailer isn't telling it, and I'm beginning to suspect the person who wrote the synopsis was seeming too concerned about the font choice. So I have to give this a very confused touch brown. What say you?
So you claim there's time travel in your synopsis, but you don't show anything remotely related to time travel in your trailer. So makes for one going, huh? And what? And huh? I was totally confused. Like even the juxtaposition of the way they cut the dialogue into the scenes was just mind-numbing.
It was jarring.
Like it made no sense. There was no way to tell which part was in what part of year. So I had no idea that there was time travel. Like, and then they're like, I'm like, time travel? Like, who was time traveling? There was nothing that indicated time traveling in this trailer. It actually looked intriguing. I actually like, I don't know if this was Korean, Chinese, or Japanese, or I'm not sure. But I like those type of movies. This looked like The Kingdom on Netflix. I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty decent. And then it was very confusing. So I would say touch brown because I don't plan on seeing this because I'm thoroughly confused. Yeah.
Okay. Another mud brick. 2 mud bricks this week instead of the 3 right out the gate last week. All right. So, sir, what is next?
Next would be Iron Lung. The stars are gone. The planets have disappeared. Only individuals aboard space stations or starships were left to give the end a name: the Quiet Rapture. After decades of decay and crumbling infrastructure, the consolidation of iron has made a discovery on a barren moon designated AT-5, an ocean of blood. Hoping to discover desperately needed resources, they immediately launch an expedition. A submarine is crafted and a convict is welded inside. Due to the pressure and depth of the ocean, the forward viewport has been encased in metal. If successful, they will earn their freedom. If not, another will follow. This will be the 13th expedition. So, this was based on a indie game.
I don't know where you got that, but that was a good synopsis.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where I got the one I got, and it is not even close.
Because you copy and pasted the wrong one.
Okay.
I'll show you at the break. So this is actually based on an indie game made by an indie guy. His name is Mark Edward Fishbong. He goes by Mark Pillar as a YouTuber handler, and he directed it, screenwrote it, stars in it. He's distributing it. He actually called individual theaters to get theaters to put this into play. Fans are calling theaters, asking theaters to play this movie. Yeah. I have never seen this video game, and only because it is only available on Steam or PC. And I have neither. So I have been
both, and I haven't even heard of this game.
Yeah. So it's really, I'm kind of thrown off by the whole premise. I don't understand the ocean of blood and why they're searching that for stars. That I'm totally confused by that plot. Doesn't make sense. I think it's interesting that we have a movie. It's basically a one-man show. You got here. He's submarining a submarine that he can't actually see out of.
Which is weird.
Yeah, so according to the game is played the same way. You're piloting a submarine that you can't see out of. You have to rely on maps that are unverified. And in the game, you have to take pictures. And then you have to develop those pictures to see where you are, what's going on. So I'm intrigued to see how they're going to pull this off, because that seems very bizarre as a movie premise.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing me enough to give it a blah.
Oh, okay.
I really want, I applaud this man's efforts to get this movie out there. He worked with the developer of the game in order to make this movie. So I want to see it be somewhat successful, but I don't understand it. So so I'm hoping by actually watching it, maybe that they'll explain this premise of the ocean of blood having the stars and planets. So that's the only the part that I'm just kind of huh?
Yeah, very confusing.
But I'm gonna give it a blah.
All right. Shout out to the synopsis for doing the heavy lifting here, because without that paragraph of text, I would have no idea what is going on. This trailer is an absolute masterclass in giving us nothing. It's the cinematic equivalent of a blank stare. If you had never heard of or seen anything to do with this horror game, you'd think you were watching a very slow, very expensive documentary about the thrilling world of mining shaft elevator maintenance. I'm not asking for the world, but I'm going to need something: a plot point, a jump scare, a reason to care, anything to determine if this would even be worth my time to watch. I see more narrative tension in a microwave timer, so right now, no, I'm not. Touch brown. Which brings us to the 400-pound gorilla in the room this week.
Yep.
Which is Send Help. Mm-hmm. All right, and here's the very brief synopsis. In Send Help, two colleagues become stranded on a deserted island, the only survivors of a plane crash. On the island, they must overcome past grievances and work together to survive. But ultimately, it's an unsettling, darkly humorous battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. Wait, two colleagues? Whoever edited the synopsis clearly skipped the proofreading phase of the script. What we have here is a classic case of corporate metamorphosis. A meek office wallflower magically transforms into Sheena, queen of the jungle, while her boardroom shark boss, the heir to a corporate throne made of mahogany and employee tears, suddenly finds himself at the bottom of the food chain. I'm fully prepared for some cathartic counter abuse as she serves him all of the guff he's been dishing out since the 2019 fiscal year. But let's talk about the logistics of the third act. After the inevitable plane crash and jungle survival bonding session, how does this actually end? You can't exactly go from hunting wild boar with a sharpened pencil back to standardized quarterly reviews without things getting a little awkward at the water cooler. Do I want to see this power struggle turned nature special? Absolutely. But this is a folding laundry on a Sunday while watching it on a streaming service kind of movie. I'm giving it a blah. What say you?
All right, Sam Raimi is back and giving us more of that Sam Raimi humor and violence. Yes, I cannot wait for this movie. It looks fantastic. Rachel McAdams is back as well. It's been a while since we've seen her. She actually just got a star on the Walk of Fame last week.
Yay!
And yeah, I can't wait. It looks brutal. It looks fantastic. It looks like Sam Raimi is Sam Raimi again, not Spider-Man Sam Raimi. So I'm fascinated. I'm intrigued. I love Dylan O'Brien. I think he's great. He's perfect in this role of just a Richard. So, seriously, it looks good. It looks like to be like a good time. Apparently there's some squeamish moments from the previews that people are saying that that Sam Raimi has gone back to his original roots. They've been suggesting make sure you bring people who can't handle squeamish things and watch them have fun.
Squirm.
Yeah. Which is great. So yeah, I can't wait. I think this is going to be I think Sam Raimi's back on top.
Okay, a good from Rob, a blah from me. So the 400-pound gorilla in the room lives up to the moniker. So here's a breakdown of everything from this week. Tafiti across the desert got mud bricked, but a higher mud brick than or touch brown than usual because Rob actually enjoyed this family film enough to say that it would be an enjoyable family film. If you had family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're forced to watch one.
If you're forced to watch one, this is the one to watch. Mm-hmm. Shelter, Rob gave it a so-so. I gave it a touch brown. Back to the Past, needs to go back to the drawing board. It got mud bricked. Iron Lung, Rob gave it a blah. I gave it a touch brown because it was just the most confusing trailer I've ever seen in my life. Not really. But pretty close. Yeah, it is. I was scratching my head a lot. Mm-hmm. And then said, send help, lived up to the 400-pound gorilla in the room because it got a good from Rob and a blah from me. Did we decide on the 400-pound gorilla next week?
I think we said Dracula.
Dracula. Okay, so next week there's a couple of good ones, coming out. Mm-hmm. We're going to start off here with the ones that aren't. Buffalo Kids, Time Hoppers, The Silk Road. It sounds like another
anime.
Well, it also sounds like Back to the Past, except in anime form. Whistle, mm-hmm. Which is the Death Whistle movie, which I already seen the trailer for.
That's the one with Daphne Keane.
I think so. It is.
Yeah.
Dracula, which has Christoph Waltz, and The Strangers, Chapter 3. Mm-hmm. Those are the 5. And next week, we'll have in studio Lyric Andy from the Silver State Storytellers. Yep. He will be joining us all show long, so he'll be here for the movie segment. It'll be interesting to get his opinion on some of these.
Yes.
Especially since Dracula is a love story, and the Silver State Storytellers subsidiary Carson City Shorts has the Love Notes short romance film competition going on right now. So yeah, that'll be all interesting. So those are the movies next week, and those are the ones that we talked about this week. If you would like to go and check them out, I did put up a post earlier in the week so that you can go and check out all of the movies with their trailers
that we talked about this week.
Yep, that we just got done talking about. If you want to go and watch those trailers, we'll also have a YouTube, this up on the YouTube within the next 2 or 3 days, so that you can go and re-listen to our opinions and also
make your decision.
Yes, your decision, not ours.